Okay, I think everything is ready. Now, let's wait for the student to come. Ah, here it is. Hang on, I'm gonna close the door. Halo Ibu, selamat malam. Widihnya
Yesterday mood.
masih masih ini. Kenapa Ibu? Oh, di mute. Oh, enggak, saya masuk
Belum
suaranya ya.
bisa? Nggak kedengeran?
Oh, enggak kedengeran suaranya sebentar. Kalau gini gimana Ibu? Suaranya masuk? Belum ya?
Oke, sudah.
Oh, oke, sudah. Oke,
Oke,
siap-siap.
deh.
Widihnya sudah mandi.
Sudah.
Ah,
Oke.
ya, sebentar dulu. Ah. Halo Widih, good evening. Do you hear my voice?
Ya,
Okay. I thought there is a problem with my connection. How are you doing so far?
good.
Uh, what you learned today at school?
Sob. Full. Gimana caranya? Oke. I think I didn't learn math today.
Ah, I see. So what did you learn today at school?
Hmm, PPKN Bahasa Indonesia and Religion.
Ah, PKN. PKN is a subject talking about nationalism and something, right?
Yes.
Ah, have you learned about the governments and something like that, or just still practically about the constitution or something?
Still learn about Pancasila, but it's like near 17 Agustus, so my school is decorating for it.
Hey, I wonder if there is any kind of like, you know, lomba at your school
There will
during,
be
there will
tomorrow.
be tomorrow until 17th, or maybe just tomorrow.
I think it's tomorrow because in 17 is like holiday, right?
Ah,
Why?
yeah. So you won't go to school at 17th.
Yes.
I see. Okay. So do you join any competition there?
I will join, but I don't know yet.
Ah, I see. I think tomorrow will be fun, but uh not sure what kind of competition. Maybe later on the next Tuesday, I think you have to tell me what competition, or maybe if let's say that you win on that competition, just let me know. Because yeah, at my age, it is something that is already really rare for us to see any competition. So basically, that uh, I wish that I could join any competition if there is any, but it's been a while for me to not join any competition. So if in any case that you want something, I'd like to hear that. Okay. Have you ate your dinner yet? Oh,
Yes.
ah, I think you are so ready tonight. Okay. If you are ready tonight, I think as I promised that I'm gonna invite you to have a practice where we are going to check whether you already understand all things about the algebra or not. Okay, so even if that I taught you about the missing dimension on the shapes, but I believe that you have learned more than shapes itself. So I put several contexts about the algebra and how to define it, and hopefully that you still have the same pattern about the way to solve the algebra. And then, yeah, let's see what's the rate of your understanding. Each exercise right here would have one score, 1 point. So at least if let's say that you are missing two, so that means that you have eight, right? But don't worry for that. If let's say that you cannot accomplish them all, I'm not gonna judge you. I'm just trying to understand where's the gap of your understanding, and hopefully that I could fill the missing gap. So before we continue about any other topics moving forward, at least for the algebra, we try to solve them first. Okay. Do you prepare any kind of pen and also the
Oh, can you
kind of
repeat?
paper?
Can you
Do you prepare any pen and kind of like
Yes.
just paper? Okay. Okay, let's try with the first one. Okay. Each of exercise has different difficulty. I hope you don't mind for that. Okay, let's try for the number one. Rectangular garden bed has area 45 meter square meter, and the length is 9 meter. So what's the width?
Matematika tuh, matematika.
Um,
Nah, ini beda kan?
is 5.
Tulisan tuh bisa.
Nggak kedengeran. Saya mau coba deh.
5. Okay, let's try to check that. Width would be
Cuma bilang rebus masak.
45 divided by 9. Is, is that the way you solve it?
No, but it's like I already memorized my timetable, so whenever like it's like and times 5 is going to be 45, I think.
I see. Okay, good approach. I think you're trying to involve your logic into that exercise. Okay, since the answer is correct, I'm gonna consider this as
IP-nya nggak
pass.
jalan.
Okay, the second
Emang
exercise.
aku rebus masak.
The tent's base is 3 meters longer than its height.
Udah mau
Can you
suruh
tell
banget.
me the expression for the base?
Tuh, Jumat bisa les sih.
Iya.
Berarti rebuaya nih hasilnya sekalian.
Iya. Rebus Sabtu bisa kamu silahkan.
Dia rasa, ini bisa nanti dia rasa rebuaya.
If the
Bisa.
tent's base is 3 meters longer than its height, write an expression for the base.
What does it mean by expression?
Expression is something that we call as the equation or formula. It's the same, but mostly it will be called as expression.
It's like formula.
Yes, it's quite the same.
Hmm. Is it
Hmm.
like it's a number plus 3 or something? Because I don't know.
Yeah, the kind of expression is something similar like when we are talking about the algebra. Remember when we are trying to identify this width, right? We
Kadang
try to break it down from the area of a rectangle is actually the length times width, right? And then this is what we call as the expression for the example, right? Or we
Oh,
can call the formula. When we try to find width, for example, we try to move the L to another side. That would be the area divided by the L or the length. Then we can find the width. This is also called the expression. Do you understand that?
so is it like the answer is base plus 3?
Base plus 3.
Yes. I'm just guessing.
Okay. So what's the first thing you notice about this exercise? The tenth,
It
right?
like doesn't tell you like the length or like the measurement.
Yes, there is no measurement yet. We
ada
didn't really put that. right? Since we are talking about the expression. Okay, the first thing we need to identify is about the tent itself. What's the common shape of a tent?
Triangle.
Triangle. Okay, triangle, which we could justify because there is a variable height and the base, right? So we can be certain that the tent has the shape of a triangle, right? Okay, where the height identified and the base also becomes the variables that we need to find the expression. The general expression about the triangle, whether it's about the area and also the perimeter, we'll talk about these two variables, right? The height and the base. But now we didn't try to find both, right? We just need to tell what's the expression of the base itself. This was mentioned that the base is 3 meters longer than its height. So we have like height, we have like base right here. Okay, since it's 3 meters longer than its height, we can add like base is equal to height plus 3. This is what we call the expression as well. So it didn't have to be a kind of formula. The expression always can can also mean something that the kind that we try to translate the text into the kind of relationship. Since the relationship mentioned right here is that the base is 3 meters longer than its height. So even if we don't know yet about what's the measurement of the height, right? But that is something that we don't actually need to find that because what we need to find is the expression of the base. Uh, the same goes if, let's say, I'm going to change that into the rectangle. If a rectangle has the length that is equal to the 5 meters more than the width, so what's the expression of the length?
Mm, Uh, it's
If a rectangle has a width,
l-
which the
the
length
length
is,
is longer than the width
yes, 5 meters longer than the width.
is length wait, length equal I don't know.
Okay, okay, let's try to imagine in the situation, the real case situation. Okay, pardon me for the messy drawing. Okay, let's try to use this rectangle as for the illustration. Okay, we have the length and the width. Let's try to put a simulation with the measurement, right? We have length like 2 meters, and then I'm gonna put the algebra expression right here. The width is 5 meters longer than the length. So what's the width?
The width
Would be,
but so the length is 2 meters
if the length is 2 meters, the width 5 meters longer than the width is 5 meters longer than the length. So how much the width itself?
7
7. It's because 5 meters plus the length, right? Am I correct to say that? Right? And then we substitute the length or the L right here as 2 meters. That's why you find the answer is 7 meters, right? We substitute the L with 2 meters. Now, before we actually know about what's the measurement about the L itself, this is what we call as the expression. 7 meters is what we call as the result once we have all the information. Do you understand the difference?
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay. Now, don't worry. Let's try to put it as a 0. Let's try to also find another things. Let's change the subject into the kind of buying stuff. You buy X liters of paint and it costs you 7,000 rupees for each liter. So this is the kind of unit of the measurement, identifying that this is the price for each liter. And then you also buy brush for 15,000. And the total for that paint and the brush is 57,000. Try to find the X.
Mama nggak kasih.
Bisa ada. Ada.
Wait. So we have to like find out what's the amount.
Yes, find the X. What the X stands for is talking about X liters. How many volume of the paint that you bought? So in total would be 57,000, including the brush itself.
So the brush is only one, and the
Yes,
paint
a
is
brush. And
so
the paint, we didn't know yet about how many paint that we bought, but at least we already understand that the price for the paint and each liter was 7,000. Oh,
okay, I will calculate first.
okay, let's try. I'm gonna wait for that. So X.
So you have to like press the 15,000 with like the results first.
I'm sorry?
So we have to after we find like we have to find the right number that we can add 15,000 to get 57,000.
Well, it's actually up to you. For as long as you could find how many liters that we bought.
Okay. Hmm. Is it 7 times 6? Is it 6?
6 liters.
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me how do you find it?
Okay, 6 times 7 is 42 plus 15 is 57.
Hmm. Can you try to write it? Let me try to change the screen share model. Hmm. I believe you can annotate, right? Last time we cannot annotate. Now, let's try to write it. Can you help me to write it? I believe on your screen you can actually have the have the
Okay.
pen. You can try to write it. How do you
Okay.
actually find 6 liters?
Oh, Oh, I can draw.
You can draw, right? Okay, let's try that.
So like I have to write the calculation.
Yes, yes. I want to know the way that you calculate to find
Uh,
these 6 liters.
6 times 7
Mhm.
equals 42, and 42 plus 15 becomes 7, and 5, so it's 57.
See, I see. So you try to conversely find whatever possible numbers. Am I correct? Whatever possible numbers can match with the price of the paint for as long as you could then add them with 15,000, then you got the answer, right?
Yes.
Now, if I'm gonna try to put back to the first step, the fundamental step, what's the expression that we need for finding the x? What's the expression?
So wait, in expression we have to like show like the numbers, or we represent the
Can
numbers as letters.
you can actually combine the letters and as well the numbers, or maybe you can actually try to put all letters if let's say you want to. Actually, both can, for as long as I can understand that.
Mm, so is it 6 times 7 plus 15, or wait, I think that's not it. Is it times 7 plus 15? I don't know.
Is it 6
6 times 7 plus 15, I think.
or 6 times already? 6 times 7. What 7? 7 million, billion,
That 7,000.
7,000. And then plus 15.
Yes.
Okay. This is the expression once you already identify the x, like you said. Now, what about the expression before you actually find the x?
Before us.
If this is the expression when once you find the x liters, uh, what's the previous
It's
before
just
you add?
is it just the same? We got the 6
Yes. So how do I write it down?
times 7,000 plus 15,000, I think.
X. I'm gonna
F7.
try to put a distinct mark right here. This is the x time 7,000, right? And then I'm gonna put the plus 15,000 as the expression. This is the base expression for us to actually find the x value itself. Now I'm gonna ask you, why do we actually use this expression? Why do we need to use plus right here instead of minus division or something?
Because when like it's like the simplest, and maybe it's like the most easiest one to do.
Because it is talking about buying something, right? From the context of this exercise, it is implying that you buy something and you're not only buying one thing, right? You're not only buying one thing, let's say in this case, two things, and there is a clue right here called total, right? And it indicate that this is the price that you need to pay for what stuff? For the paint and brush. So basically from this exercise, we already conclude easily that this is what we call as the total something that we need to pay, right? It's similar when you buy groceries or maybe going to canteen, you order meatball, iced tea, as well as some snacks, right? The price for the total for all the things that you bought, that you order already, would be something that's actually addition to each other. That's why we use the addition. Now, this is what we call the expression, right? Now, instead of trying to randomly mention about how six came with our calculation, we can also try to write it like this. We already know this expression would be 57, right? 57,000. 57,000. What we are trying to do is trying to separate the x with the 7,000. But why we need to separate them with the 7,000? Can you tell me, Woody?
Separate it.
Yeah. Why do we need to separate the x with the 7,000? Because
So,
the x,
so there's like 2x, right? That
no,
x.
no, x times, this is times.
Oh, so
That's why
x.
I create this thing mark.
So I think x represents like a number for later on.
Yes. And in short, the x itself refers to the paint, something that we need to find. The something that actually has the relationship in this exercise with the paint, right? If so, then whatever the numbers of the x would determine the result of the price right here, right? That's why we need to separate the x. The way that we need to do is to actually move the 15 the 15,000 right here from the left to the right. So it would be minus 15,000. How much would that be? 57 minus 15,
1000 minus 15 is 42 again.
42. 42,000. We have the expression already. So we understand this reduction as part of moving the 15,000 to the right side will then give you 42,000. This is what we call the expression of x times 7,000 is equal to 42,000. Now, if I try to find the x, remember when I said to you last time, if it began with the multiplication, if you move it to another side, so you can find the x. So what the expression would be is that x is equal 42,000 minus 7,000, or x is equal to 42,000 divided by 7,000.
The first one, I
First
think.
one, the
Yes.
addition or division?
The addition, I think.
Addition. Okay, that's still that is incorrect, yeah. So if sorry. So if we move something from one side to another side, we need to remember this. If it began with multiplication, it should be then the division. If it began with addition, it will go like to the reduction. So the relation will always related to times would always be connected with the division. The plus will always be connected to minus. The condition, in the condition of plus kind of thing, when you move it to another side, there shouldn't be a multiplication. It should be the minus thing. That's why on the previous one, remember when we are trying to move 15,000 right here from the left to the right, it becomes to the minus kind of thing because it began with the plus. Okay, so if now then I move the 7,000 right here just so that I can find the x, right? Because I need to separate the x to be alone. Should I put it 42,000 divided by 7,000 or 42,000 add or plus 7,000?
Can you repeat it again?
If I move this 7,000 from this side, from left side to the right one, should I put it as a division
Wait,
or should I
your
put it
voice,
as the addition?
your voice is patah-patah.
Kind of broken. Let me try to change
Hmm.
the connection.
Keren.
Apa? Terus?
Keren.
Hmm.
Apa
Uh,
kabar?
okay. Can you hear me right now?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let me try to repeat that again. If let's say I'm trying to move 7,000,
Hmm.
I try to move 7,000 from this side, the left side, into the right side. Should I put it as the division or addition?
So is so in the left side is 57,000 and in the right side is the 7,000?
Yes, but what expression I need to put? Is that the division or it will be minus?
I think division.
Division, correct. Because the early statement, the early expression was about the multiplication. So now I put it the division right here, 42,000 divided by 7,000. How much would that be?
57,000. Wait, what? 42?
42,000 divided by 7,000. How much would that be? This both is 1,000. Let's try to cross them. Now we are left with 42 divided by 7.
Is 6. But if the
6,
1,000 is 6,000.
6 liters. The answer is the same with your way, right? But the thing that I believe that you need to also engage is that trying to trying to express of each steps so that it could have the elaboration, have the relationship that we could understand, right? Because if let's say that we are having more and more complex exercises that involves you with not only finding the x, but let's say I'm gonna put it this y, a new one of the part of the algebra, and then I add another number, something like that, it will, confuse you, right? Because there are a lot of things that you try to combine, right? You try to randomly put, oh, if I put this 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, something like that, you're gonna be uh you're not gonna be finding the right answer, but instead you're gonna be confused or overwhelmed with all the possible combination for trying to mix and match the x and y. That's why the way to systematically, to step by step finding the right answer is trying to express them into the calculation. Why do we actually need to use multiplication? Why do we need to actually put it beside this and that? Something like that. Okay, I
Okay.
consider this as correct. Just need a bit of polish in the way that you try to approach the solve. Okay, the next one is still the hard point. A square has the side of 5 meters, and the rectangle, it has length 8 meters. They have the same perimeter. Now, what I'm about to ask you, find the rectangle's width and the area.
So we need to find the rectangle.
You have to find the rectangle's width. So how do you express this first? How do you express the relationship between the width and the length in the rectangle?
Is it
Talking
just,
about
wait, is it just 5?
hmm,
Is it just 5?
the rectangle. If let's say I didn't know yet, I didn't input any square information. You only have the rectangle with the length 8 meters, right? Now, if you are about to find the width using that perimeter, how do you write the expression of the width using the formula of the perimeter of the rectangle?
So the perimeter, so it's the same, right? So the square one is 5 is 20. So rectangle is 20, right?
Okay. Or you still mention the square. Okay. The perimeter of the square, let me try to put S, indicating the square is equal to the perimeter of the rectangle. I'm gonna put small a right here where they actually have different formula, right? What's the formula of the perimeter of a square? 4 times? That's right.
4 times,
And then
yes.
what's the perimeter of the rectangle? What's
I
the
don't know
formula?
because if it's without the square, we don't have any information unless we do like the last one, but I forgot.
Mm, I see, I see. Uh, what I'm trying to tell you right here is I try to I try to not put any numbers. Okay, I try to not put any numbers. I try to translate first about the perimeter of a square, and I try to also translate what's the perimeter, what's the formula of the perimeter of a rectangle. So, can you tell me what's the formula of the rectangle if I try to find the perimeter?
Oh, so it's just formula.
Yes, the expression. It is
So
2.
wait. I think I know. So we need to find only the perimeter.
Yes, it's just the matters of the way that we try to translate
So
the parameters itself.
is
Let's try.
I think it's length times 2
Okay.
plus width times 2.
Okay. Or in another word, we can actually write it like 2 times of the length plus the width. All right. Now, this is what we call the relationship. The relationship between the square and a rectangle. Why did I put it? Perimeters of the square is equal to the perimeter of the rectangle. It doesn't make any sense, like you said, because you just know that the side is something that is only unique for the square, and the rectangle has the different unique characteristic. But in the exercise right here, it was being told, it was being informed that they both have the same perimeter. That's why, since they have the same perimeter, I tried to put the relationship, right? It doesn't matter whether they have a different characteristic, but since it was being informed that it has the relationship to each other, that's why I tried to then translate what's the formula of the square and what's the formula of the rectangle in terms of the parameter. Now, let's get it back with I know already not all the information I have at this moment, but since you're already good to identify that the square itself would have the similar side to each other. So it fulfills what this formula, right? We just have to 4 times 5. Am I correct? Since
Yes.
I substitute the s with 5, since it's being known as the side is 5 meters. Am I
Yes.
right? Okay. I'm gonna try to simplify that since we try to assume that we already know the side. I'm gonna put it 4 times 5 would be 20, right? 20 is equal, I'm gonna put it back, 2 times of the length plus the width. Do you have any question until this part?
Mm, No, but I'm still like a little bit confused of like the substitute thing where you like switch it.
Substitute. Okay, the way that we substitute against the formula. Remember, how do we symbolize the side in a square?
Symbolize like all like the same.
All the
Like
same, right? It's
this.
S, right?
Yes.
Side is symbolized as the S, and the length is being symbolized as L capital, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then, since we already know the side is 5 meters, then we replace the symbol S right here as 5. So from 4 times S, it then 4 times 5. That's the way that we substitute. Do you understand that?
Can you repeat it again? Your voice is like lagging again.
I see. Since the basic formula of the perimeter of a square is 4 times of the S. Am I correct to say that?
Yes.
Okay, we already then know what's the side is 5 meters. If we substitute them, means that we then pull the S or change the S as the number. So from the letters to then becomes the numbers. S is 5. So 4 times 5. Do you understand that? Okay. If then we got the answer, right? We substitute the S right here as part of the perimeter of the square with the 5 that we already known in the exercise, we found that the 20 is the perimeter of the square itself, right? And then why did I put 20 is equal 2 times of the length and the width? Back again, it is being stated, it was stated in the exercise, both square and rectangles have the same perimeters. So at least I already find this 20 is part of the perimeter of a square. Meanwhile, I'm gonna keep the formula of the perimeter of the rectangle as 2 times of the length of plus the width. Because of why? Because I need to translate. I need to substitute the information that is already being known in the rectangle. Uh, as you can see, for the rectangle, we don't have the width, but we do have the length, right?
Yes.
Am I correct to say that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. We do have the length, but we don't have the width. Now, can I say that I'm gonna substitute this 8 meters into this one so that I could find better the width itself? What do you think?
Can you repeat? I didn't hear it.
Is that okay if I substitute the length right here as what I already being informed into this expression just so that I could put 8 right here? Is that okay?
I think yes, because it's still like same.
Yes, the L refers or is the symbol of the length in the rectangle. So let me try to erase this and then change that into 8. Okay, now how do we then find the width? Okay, can you tell me how do we find the width? Hang on, 8 plus the width.
And the square or the rectangle that we need to find?
It's just the W. How do we actually find the width using this expression?
Mm,
Or maybe I can try to write it using your terms, right? In case that you're confused with combination of expression. I believe that you were saying that the formula of the rectangle perimeter was L times 2, right? We already put or substitute the L with 8 and then times 2 and then we plus the width times 2, right? Okay. Now, how do I find the W right here or the width itself?
um, we ini kan
First, hmm, go on.
uh, but if it's the perimeter, we just have to find like the number that equals 20.
Yes, but how do we step by step to find that?
Okay, so first 8 times 2 is 16,
Okay, good. And then,
and then plus 4, it has to be 2. 2 times 2 equals 4, and
I see. Okay, The answer is correct as usual, but can you write it down? If it's verbal, that's totally okay. Can you write it down? How do you find the W step by step?
Okay.
I try to
And
also try to erase this. How can people understand the way that you try to find W? If let's say it's a total strangers that never understands your handwritings, your way of thinking, let's say it's just like a stranger seeing your handwriting, trying to understand and find W.
I write it, right? I write it.
Yes, yes, you can write it.
Okay,
I'm trying to.
so
Mm,
first perimeter is 20, right?
mm,
And then the length
mhm.
is 8. So that's times 2 equals 16. And then 16 big what plus what equals 20 is 4. So the width must be 4. But in order to get 4, 2 times 2 times 2.
I see, I see. Okay, that's a good effort, really. Thank you very much for trying to telling me the way that you actually find the width. Uh, the reason why that I need you to tell what way that you chose to find the W is because that I noticed the way that you try to find the answer is the combination between the symbol and the text. It also consumes the piece of the paper that you have. That's why in math, we try to have a symbol like side. We only put S, like then the length, we only have to put L, right? There's always a kind of like simplification on the way that we try to write things down, right? And in my case, I'm gonna try to add additional way for you to actually translate to let people understand, oh, this is the way that we have that we will find the value of the W or the width. So for this part, I believe that we already find the answer right. It will be 16, right? 8 times 2 is 16, right? And then since we need to only find the W right here, we firstly move 20 and 16. Sorry, the 16 itself to the left side, right? So what should I write it? Should I put 20 divided by 16 or 20 minus 16?
I think minus.
Minus, right? Since the first statement began with plus, right? Not multiplication, not the division, right? We only have this, right? Now, 20 minus 16, that would be 4, right? Ah, 4 is equal to 2 times of the width. Ah, the 2 times of the width. So, how do you write the way that you could find the W right here? Let's say you're verbally saying that. How do you write a way to find the W right here?
And the double. So
W
It's
is
W is like still the same. It's 16. Eh, Wait, 2W. Oh, wait. It's 2. Because 2 times 2 is 4. Think.
okay. Or it began with moving to another side. So then W is 4 divided by 2. So we find the answer that the width is 2 meters. That's how we step by step trying to write what we think about, oh, this is the answer. Ah, now it's the same, but it's more systematically being told to the people. So in case any strangers trying to understand the way that you find things, especially in writing exercises, not verbal, they would immediately understand, oh, this is the right way to move this and that, to substitute, to then input the numbers, and then trying to let only the thing that we need to find, right? Now, we have the width, we have the length, right? The width is 2 meters, the length is 8 meters. Now, what's the area of the rectangle?
The other. So it's 2 times 16.
2
Eh?
times 16?
4. 4 times 16, I think.
2 times 16 or 2 times 8?
Oh, yeah. 2 times 8.
2 times 8. So the area of that
Uh,
rectangle is 16. What's the unit of the measurement of the area?
meter square. Square
Square
meter.
meter. Okay, square meters. Okay, that's the way that we try to find. So algebra is not only talking about the way that we can find the relationship to each other things that we find in any exercises, it also helps you to also trying to solve the problem systematically and trying to translate what we have in text into the kind of only symbols and numbers, right? Like this part, I only try to translate what's the perimeter, what's the symbol of the length and the width, something like that, right? I try to simplify all the kind of complex information right here into the kind of simpler kind of way. Uh, do you have any questions so far?
No.
Okay. I think that would be it for tonight's lesson. I hope that on Tuesday you could you could answer these three exercise 4, 6, and 8. Okay. I'm gonna mark it red for you to work alone and at home. And then by the next Tuesday, we are going to discuss it again. Okay. I'm gonna share this lesson to your mother. Hopefully that there will be no issue with everything that I already teach you about. But in case that you still have some difficulties to write your answer, don't worry, because the next Tuesday I'm gonna try to ask you if let's say that I don't understand about your answer. Sounds cool?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Do you have anything you'd like to ask to me?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay then.
no.
If there is nothing, I hope that you already understand the way the algebra things work. I hope that three of the exercises that I gave to you would have a perfect score, 100 lah, I hope. Okay, but in case you have anything to ask after this class, just feel free to ask your mother to have conversation with me, okay? Have a good
Yes.
night, Vidi. See you the next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Bye.